Hello everyone, Filip Boksa here, CEO and co-founder of BookingKoala. And we all know what has been happening the last day, the last 24 hours. And I want to address that outage as well as few other things. So number one, most important part, the outage. We are fully up. Load speeds are back to normal. We have been up for several hours. Tuesday morning, about 8 a.m., we were under a spam attack, which took the system down for about an hour and a few minutes. Once we were able to get the system back online, we made the announcement that we are up. On Twitter, we announced that we are still working on things and the system stabilizing. But the goal at that moment was to get the system up and running just enough so people could log in and get their bookings. And I know that many of you have, but throughout the day, a lot of users were still experiencing a lot of issues where there were errors saying merchant account not found, load speeds were there, things like that. And that's what we've been working on the whole day, which was resolved. So now again, we are fully operational. We're still, analyzing and making sure that, things like that do not happen in the future, which brings me to point number two. How are we going to, approach this in the future? And this is a very tricky situation because outages, as all of you know, happen to everybody, even the biggest companies in the world. And that's what makes this tough because I cannot promise that, this will never happen again. For us, this is the biggest outage we've had, and this is the only outage we've had in years, okay, which is a good thing. And what we're going to be doing in the future is trying to get better at bringing things up, instead of, things taking a full day. We're going to try to work on bringing, the system back up in an hour, 2, 3, which is the best I think we can do, as well as make sure that this is a very, very rare instance because this, like I said, this does happen to pretty much every single internet company out there. It happens to phones. I'm sure you have phones that went down, internet that has gone down. So this is not something that can be promised that it will never happen again because for many reasons these things do happen. But what we will be working on is making sure that we learn from today, implement certain things, keep improving, keep learning, and trying to make sure that if it does ever happen, we get things under wrap and get the system back up much faster than how we handled it yesterday. Okay, so that was number two. Number three, this is regarding to speed loads that have been addressed over the last 1-2 months. I have seen all the feedback. I always see the feedback. I see feedback on Twitter. I see feedback on, inside the Facebook group, through emails, through video looms that are recorded from demos. I see them on the portal that you guys submit on the features page. This is how this is how BookingKoala grows. It's all through feedback, from customer feedback. We understand that that's number one. There is nothing more important than feedback and making sure that we are improving the software in a positive way, okay? So we understand that. The moment we saw speed load issues, we took it as priority, okay? We have been implementing things the moment we started to see multiple users report this. And we already actually released something 2 weeks ago, something major to help improve load speed. And this isn't done yet. This is something that's still going to be taking a while for us to complete. I'm sure that a lot of you already see major improvements since we've addressed a few things 2 weeks ago. We've addressed things last night as well to help improve with this, and we're still going to keep on working on it over the course of the next few weeks so that speed and all load times are top notch. this has been priority, it is priority, and that is what we're focusing on the most at this moment, as well as analyzing this outage and making sure that we take the proper steps so this does not happen. So again, we do see that feedback and we take it seriously. I understand that speed load is super, super important. Everybody here understands it, and it has not been neglected. We just haven't made an announcement about it because there's nothing to show for it. We like to, make sure that we tell somebody that, hey, we are looking into it. When people, email us through support, that's the first thing that we do. We tell them we are looking into it, which we always are. And then if it's something that important, the whole team starts working on it right away. And then we make a huge announcement when it's all solved and finished. So, even though we haven't made the announcement, it has been something we have been working on, and we will keep working on that. There has been reports by some users that things are not saving. There are duplicate bookings that are happening. So that feedback has been seen, and we have been working on it immediately as soon as we saw it. So I know Ryan specifically, he mentioned that one on Facebook the moment that was mentioned 3 or 4 days ago, and even before then, I saw that feedback on Twitter from some users. We've already been working on it, so these things are being worked on, and things are not being ignored, because like I said, we understand what is the most important part, which sometimes it's very sad to see when people say we need to hire more developers. We're not hiring developers because we're cheaping out, by their words, which is 100% not true. That is the department that we spend most of our money, and that is the department that has been growing the fastest and will be growing the fastest, because like I said, development is key. We probably have near about 100 developers now, and they're all full-time working very, very hard. But as the system gets larger, the user base grows, things get harder. There are, it's just much harder to satisfy all users because they're all at different stages. They all want different things, and the best we can do is just try to make decisions based on the feedback that you guys give us, and work on the things in pretty much a priority type status, if you want to say. Okay, so again, things are being addressed. I can assure you, developers are being hired, they're being trained, and we only want top notch for our users. Okay, so I want to address all of that stuff. And now, probably the last thing that we'll address, which I think is also important, because there are Facebook posts that are being removed, and we do that for a good reason. The biggest reason, which is this is definitely by far the biggest reason, is because when people post something, they freak out, they go to the Facebook group and start posting things, and usually in most cases what happens is this problem is user specific. And when this user specific problem appears in the group, everybody else sees it, everybody else starts freaking out, and they come to the support group, they start messaging us, and now it takes a lot of resources to start looking into every single account, a lot of developer efforts, and pretty much in most cases we find that it's a user error or user specific issue. And now the developer, most importantly, developers' time is being wasted looking at things like that, when they should be focusing on huge important issues like making sure speed loads are up and things like that. Which brings me to the other case, when there's a lot of spamming going on about the same issue over and over again. We take the posts down because, like I mentioned, we look at the feedback, we note it down, we know what's going on, and we are working on it, and it has been noted. So the criticism the feedback is not being ignored. We're just reducing the spam. And when you guys join the Facebook group and you see one of the rules, it's to make sure that there is no promotion, no spam. So even though it's critical feedback, if there is too much spam in the group about the same topic, we take it down. um, we so there are reasons why certain posts get removed but I can assure you that it is always, you know looked at, and we are working on the most important issues in a priority based order. Okay, so I'm going to try to end it here, but like I said, we understand customers number one. That's why we're able to be at this position, because we've always listened to the customer. Sometimes it may not seem like it because there's just so many things going on. Um, and but I can definitely tell you that we know what is most important, and we're going to take this as a learning experience, what happened yesterday, and of course we're going to try to be better like we always do. Everything is a learning experience. um, and that's pretty much it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience with the outage, and I hope that the next 12 months is another huge year for all of our businesses, and talk to you guys soon.